Start your New Year's resolution now, not in the New Year's. And perhaps you should have even already started it much earlier, before Christmas has passed. Because it is actually the most difficult to start it earlier, before everyone else. What if you started your New Year's resolution mid-November? How would that look? And the reason why I say this is because a lot of people misunderstand how personal development works. Yes, when it comes to really changing yourself, it really does just come down to a decision. But a lot of times when we make decisions, we don't actually account for all the suffering that's involved in that decision. And so when we don't take that suffering into account of the decision that we are about to make, then we allow ourselves to pussy out of our commitments that we had for our New Year's resolutions. Because oh, well, I didn't think it was going to be this difficult. Or a lot of things that people do with a New Year's resolution is that they get excited because everybody else is on the same boat as you. But what happens when there's nobody else around you cheering you on? Apparently it's day 17 of January is National Quitters Day. It's one thing I've heard, and I believe it. I absolutely believe it. Just past 2 weeks is when a lot of people crack on just their new resolutions. Their New Year resolutions. And I'm wondering, are you going to crack? Are you going to actually be waiting for 2025, a year from now, and be ready for the next New Year's resolution because you've already completed a 365-day set of doing what you said you were going to do? Perhaps it's dietary restrictions. And that is the perfect time to have a resolution, because then you're doing it in the most painful time that you're choosing to have the dietary restrictions. Regardless of what it is, December, to the end of the year, December is when you can very easily fall off track with all of the celebrations and whatnot. It is in that time where it's most difficult to stick to a plan. Are you going to be able to stick to a plan, stick to a decision to actually change yourself? A lot of people want to change themselves, but they don't realize that when they make a decision to change themselves, they have to realize that that decision comes with the acceptance of the suffering, the acceptance of going through that boredom, the acceptance of being on your own and suffering in silence. This is what's really required if you want to make any changes in your life at any point. The beginning of the year is a great landmark, a great milestone, but what if you did this every quarter, every month, where you made decisions on how you're going to up your standard of how you're going to respect yourself every single day? I find this very interesting, that we have a culture of people wanting to change, but we don't have a culture of people able to stick to change. And really, that's just human dynamics, where people are not wired to change. People are wired to stay the same. And I find this is just a fundamental This is just a fundamental pattern of human nature. We try to stay the same. That's what makes us survive. But the thing is then, we're just going to keep on surviving as our old self. Because to actually change, you're going to have to go through a lot of uncomfortable moments. And if you're like most people, you're just going to default to what's comfortable. You're not going to lean into what's emotionally difficult. When really the emotionally difficult thing is to embody change in the hardest of times, when things aren't going your way at all. To learn how to master that moment, to learn how to be grateful in that moment, to learn how to maintain your habits in that moment. That is when you can actually make some real change. Because right in those moments, you're confronting something emotionally difficult right away. You're doing it already when it's difficult. So if you're already doing it at the point that's most inconvenient to you, to make a change in yourself, then what's going to happen with that is that you're starting from where it's most difficult, so then it's just going to get easier from there. You already got a strong rep. You already got a proper idea of the landscape of how it's actually going to look. I think the problem is when people set New Year's resolutions is because everything wraps up in the year. And then things are coming to a close. And so it's actually easy to start something new. But then the year starts to come and then things starts to get packed onto their plate and they don't realize that they have to try and maintain that new change with all those additional stresses that come on as the year progresses. And to be able to make a decision to really change yourself, it's all the times that you're going to really stick with some real change is the times when you choose to change in the most difficult moments. You choose to change when it's least convenient for you. I feel like another thing too is that people have very low leadership in their decision making, very low seriousness in their decision making. People will make a New Year's resolution because everyone else is doing it, not because it's something they truly want. That's probably another reason why. It's like, oh yeah, I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to get this gym membership. And then they're in gym culture. There's terms for this where they label these people as like the people of the New Year's resolution, where in the beginning of January, the gyms are packed. And then as soon as February hits, and especially as soon as March hits, it's back to the normal gym goers that have been showing up regardless of a silly New Year's resolution. And then you got maybe that 1% or whatever of people that actually stick to the New Year's resolution because they actually wanted that change. And I think setting New Year resolutions is a good thing because it's a time in life where everyone else is resetting and all that stuff. But what if you got a head start on it? You started it before New Year's. Where you say, like, I'm so committed to this life change. Fuck it. Like, why wait? I'm already thinking about the change. I already know what I want to change or what I want to implement. Why wait for an artificial day when I already know what I want? Start now. Start today. Start when it's difficult. Start when your plate is stacked with a bunch of random ass Christmas holiday shit. Start when it's inconvenient. Because if you can do it when it's inconvenient, then you can do it at any time, really. So that is what I want to talk about today. If you have a New Year's resolution, or if you're thinking about a New Year's resolution, get on it early. You already know what you want to change. Why the fuck are you waiting? Don't wait for the excitement of everyone else to start. Start now. You already know. You're already thinking about it. Just make the decision now and commit to it and hold yourself to it. And make yourself into that rare 1% individual that in 365 days from now will be thanking you for making that decision, from committing to this new level of growth for yourself, to this new standard of being for yourself, to committing to this change of behavior for yourself. So with that, I'd like to thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.